Joy Agenda podcast. I'm Hannah Campbell.
And I am Jay Lafferty. And today in the fabulous Monkey Barrow Studios for our Joy Agenda podcast guest, we have comedian, style icon, amazing lassie, it's Kathleen Hughes.
Oh my goodness, thank you for having me. Style icon.
Look
That's
at
the
you.
first time I've ever been called a style icon.
no,
I love that.
Look at this dress.
I
For
love
those that are
that.
just listening and can't see it, Kathleen has a wonderful tartan dress on.
Thank you so much. It's got
Beautiful.
pockets.
It's got dress with
Pockets,
pockets.
no.
That's
That's
but
what
you're always got, like, quite often, not always, but quite often you've got a wee bit of tartan on.
Yeah,
and
I
I
like a bit of
do,
tartan.
I do love that.
There we go.
Style icon.
I must say, your fringe poster was one of my favourites when you had that tartan dress on.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
The boobies were out, the hair was
Oh,
up.
you got to sell tickets somehow.
Exactly.
Come on now.
Yeah, I don't do jokes, I just do tip.
I think, like, do you know it's whenever you see the guy in the kilt with the tops off, and it's like, oh, there's like your shortbread tin.
Yeah.
you're like the female sexy shortbread tin.
Yeah.
we need a
love
female
that.
sexy shortbread tin.
Yeah.
Like,
You can corner that market.
I
But
think
see,
so.
it would be quite funny if I was also, do you know when like Ned Flanders rips his shirt off and he's super built?
Yeah.
That's what I want to be like, so I'll work towards that, yeah.
Just lots of muscle.
Yeah. I am actually the man that's on the shortbread tin, but you don't know that yet.
Oh, I love it. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in a festive spirit.
Yeah.
I don't usually, it usually takes me until like Christmas Eve to feel excited.
And why
I've
is
been going
that?
a month. I think I just get stressed out. There's a lot going on. I don't even have wains. If nothing was going on, I'd be stressed. So when it's Christmas and there's a lot happening, it just takes me a while to be like, this is actually fun. But I'm feeling quite good this year.
That's good. So you feel festive on Christmas Eve and then you're like, well, you know what, it's only for another day and then I can relax again. So you wait until Christmas Eve.
Precisely.
Lovely.
I'm beginning to feel a little bit festive now as well.
Yeah.
I've like got that. So this will be coming to you guys on the 30th, just before Hogmanay, but we're actually recording a few days before Christmas. I'm in full swing Christmas party gigs.
Oh, yeah.
They've been eventful.
Oh, yeah. How have they been this year?
They've been eventful, but not
Okay.
in the normal way. I don't know how
Oh.
you gals like
Yeah.
Christmas party night shows have gone. Normally, for any of our listeners who have never been to a comedy Christmas show, usually they are full of drunk people on works nights out who don't usually go to comedy and can't behave in public.
Yeah, so they're always so much fun for us to do.
Yes, they're always a little bit like hectic, but what I will say is all of the gigs have been really fun. But, and I don't know if it's like I've told you before about my obsession with the first responders, and I don't know if everybody's just heard this because at 3 out of the 6 or 7 gigs that I've done in the last week, 2 ambulances and the fire brigade have had to be called.
The fire
Oh my
brigade.
God, what have you been doing?
Yeah.
I've been doing nothing. I'm so funny. People have collapsed in shows.
Call
I
999.
know. Is
She's
this all the
doing
same
fun.
gig?
No, these were all different gigs.
So you're the common denominator.
I
Yeah.
am the common,
Right.
but this is now what I'm
Alright.
feeling. I'm
Yeah.
beginning to think I'm going to end up on like, a kind of list somewhere where they're like, is Jay Lafferty at the gig? Okay, stand by. We need to get a first responder to the show.
Oh my God, so what was happening? People just...
Somebody collapsed at a gig at Blackfriars, and then I was doing the Hogmanay warm up for the BBC, and somebody collapsed at that. So that was 2 ambulances, and they were one day after the other. And then
goodness.
last week I was doing the Glee 3 nights. Fabulous. 320 people in the Saturday night, and all of them good eggs.
Good.
Lovely.
Like, so nice. But just before I brought on the fabulous Susie McCabe, friend of the pod, the fire alarm went off.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh no. And I was doing that thing where I was like, are we leaving? Are we? Because it's a basement, you know?
Yeah,
So I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
are we burning? Should I run first? Because then I'll get out the door. Because to be fair, we're right at the back.
I know, it's
Yeah.
the last to get out.
Last to get
and everyone
out.
kind of looks at you as if like, because you're in charge now, so you
Yeah.
tell us what to do, and you're like, oh.
Whatever
Everybody
you
was
do
looking
is-
to me. All the like stage lights went off, the house lights came up, and I was like, right, everybody remain in your seats until we figure out what is going on here. Because all I could see is just security staff running about mad. Turns out they were like quite very, very quickly were able to say it was a fault.
Right.
But they couldn't locate the fault. So they had to keep manually turning the fire alarm off so that we could finish the gig. So some poor soul was just standing with his finger on the button, like having to keep
And
pressing
it would just beep
off
intermittently.
and he would have to press it off. And then obviously they had to get the fire brigade to come and figure out like what is the fault. So that's me. I've had paramedics, I've had firefighters.
That's a very dramatic Christmas year.
Really dramatic.
Oh, I've had
Everyone was nice.
Everybody's been lovely.
Yeah.
A couple of weird gigs on Tuesday night at the Monkey Barrel, not lie, but weird in a funny, silly way.
Okay.
Just a whole bunch of people who had bladder problems, I think.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Like, and it wasn't even a cocaine crowd.
I was going to say, we're getting up to the toilet a lot.
Because the guy texts the group chat going, oh my goodness, these people can't sit through a show. Some of them have gone to the toilet twice. And another comic went, they're not using the toilet, Jane. I went, no, they are. They're just like, they're not a cocaine crowd. They're a small bladdered crowd.
Yeah. And listen, as a small bladdered lady,
Are you
I need to respect it. Listen, I would much rather someone got up to go to the toilet, and I know it's annoying, and I know it's disruptive, but don't piss yourself.
Yeah, no,
You know,
absolutely.
I mean, that is the nuclear option, to just piss yourself in a comedy gig. As someone
Assert dominance.
I mean, I am someone that prides myself on having a bladder of steel.
Okay.
I don't have to go for ages, so it does small bladder people. I am sometimes like, come on, do you really need to go? But I understand.
Yeah.
I don't want people to piss themselves, because I'm nice like that.
I think that's it's a kind of mum thing as well. Like, I know you're not a mum yet, but
No.
like quite often I will think, oh, I need to go to the toilet, but I'll be too in the midst of busyness and trying to do a million things. And then like 4 hours later, I'll be like, oh, I need to go to the toilet. And 4 hours has passed since I realised this. But I need to do it.
So I've already got this skill down. I'm
got
ready.
that-
The
got
most
that
important
skill.
thing about having kids, you don't need to pee all the time.
And let me tell you, when you push them out, sometimes that changes.
You've got other stuff going on. You can't possibly be worrying about keeping a piss in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, how have your Christmas party nights been, Kathleen?
They've been good. So I had a lovely weekend at the Stand in Glasgow.
Nice.
And it was very busy, and it was very work night out, and it was very chatty, but it was just like super good energy. So yeah, I think kind of the same. We had no medical emergencies.
Good.
Not to brag.
I wasn't there.
Yeah. So
I'm there this evening. We'll see.
We shall see.
everyone be careful. Yeah, they were really nice. They were super fun.
Good fun.
A really good round off to the year.
Oh, that's
Lovely.
nice.
Yeah, it's
And
good.
have you had
Mine
any?
have been all fine.
grand?
No medical emergencies, no arseholes. Everyone's been quite good this year. Maybe all the arseholes, maybe they're going to do axe throwing or something instead at
Do you know
Christmas.
what?
There's a lot of
Yes.
other stuff you can do now, so maybe actually all the arseholes have gone to do arsehole activities.
Yeah.
I feel
From the
like
good
we do
people.
have somebody in the room who's probably been at more Christmas party nights than the three of us put together.
Yes.
So, producer Ewan, how have the Christmas nights been thus far at Monkey Barrel?
No, I've not actually been to that many, but they've been quieter than usual.
Interesting.
Nothing major to report back on. Nothing that I can
Maybe the
compare to what you've been saying.
maybe the general public have just learned how to behave.
Maybe.
Aw.
Years and years of us
Christmas
saying,
miracle.
Touch wood.
Yeah.
oh my God.
I've got 4 shows between now and when I finish up for Christmas.
I know, we're at the stand tonight. It's going to be a nightmare. I can just
Oh.
imagine.
It's going to be crazy. So you've got a gig tonight.
Yes.
Have you finished your gigs?
I'm done for the
You're
year.
done. That's why you're feeling Christmassy.
Yeah, that is why. Yeah.
You've put the out of office on. You're
I've been in
ready
an
to
OD.
party.
Yeah.
Jeez, lovely.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So, and are you quite, so you're saying you're not that Christmassy up to Christmas Eve, but do you go big for like decorations and stuff? Is your flat kitted out?
No, not really.
No?
We're a
Okay.
bit, as I say, we don't have any wains. My partner is a very utilitarian person.
Okay.
I'm not going to say Soviet, but no.
Okay.
No, he just
Kathleen,
quite,
blink twice if you need
yeah.
help. What's-
Listen, I quite like it. I appreciate it. We have a wee tree, and we have a wee garland on the fireplace. But this is I get stressed out at the drop of a hat. Nothing could be going on. I'd be stressed. So just a wee something.
None too
Just
much.
Just a wee bit of sparkle.
No, yeah, exactly. And they got on in my life.
See, I'm like like not even just Christmas, you know this because you've been around my house loads. Whatever the theme of the month is, it looks like it's thrown up in my house.
I love that.
She's a seasonal decorator.
I am a seasonal. It's Pinterest, mate.
Yeah.
It's Pinterest.
My grandma used to do that. She would have her kitchen would be like in the summer, she would have like blues and stuff, and then come about September, she'd get all the reds out of the loft. we'd have to redecorate our bathrooms. I totally get it.
Do you know,
Yeah.
I feel like I've gone beyond though, because today I was sitting having my breakfast cup of tea, right? I like a wee Earl Grey in the morning, right? So I'm sitting with my wee Earl Grey and I'm looking at my rug on the floor, which I've recently replaced. And I've put the other one up the loft because I felt it was too summery.
Yeah.
So I got a kind of autumn coloured one. And I was looking at it and I thought, this rug now doesn't really go with my red cushions that are out for Christmas. And then I went, oh, I wonder if in the sale I might get a Christmas rug. So next year I'll have 3 rugs. I'll have the summer months rug, I will have the autumn months rug, and then I'll have a wee Santa rug.
So you got a designated Christmas rug.
I haven't got it yet, but I've had the thought. And then I'm
Okay.
like, does that make me someone's granny?
No, but it also, I love people's grannies.
Yeah.
I like.
That wasn't
you're
a no.
not-
That was
It
not
wasn't
a no.
I would never say no. I love a granny. I love the commitment to. This is one of the things that actually I thought about to bring me joy. Anyone who does something that other people find cringe brings me so much joy. Anyone who's into like D&D or like cosplaying or like live, laugh, love in their house or anything that other people are like, oh my God, like that's not in, that's not who cares? You get the rug you want. Go to TK Maxx.
That's
Buy
what I
all
was
the stuff.
thinking.
Yeah.
I think I'll get it in the January sales, and come next year, I'll have a Christmas rug.
Oh my God, your house is going to look like an IKEA with all the Christmas or whatever. It's going to be
I love
amazing.
IKEA.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
it's great.
mean, I think that's. I'm just prepping you for next year.
Lovely.
You know
I
what?
can't wait to see it.
Go for it. We we support
Yes.
this decision. Get yourself a Christmas rug.
Yes,
Do it.
Jay.
So,
100%.
Thank you. I feel
welcome.
I feel validated now. And
Next year it's like an intervention.
Like, Jay, it's too much. Okay,
Listen,
you need
Jay.
to stop.
But what do you do in like May when there's nothing on?
I did well. See, I've had this one. I had this kind of summery. Is like kind of just a green ferns and kind of cream rug thing that I've had for over a year. And the other week, well, no, the other couple of months ago, September, I was like, this is too summery, and I bought a kind of blue one with like just oranges and things like that.
Nice.
Blue and green, and because my sofa is green. And I thought, oh, that's quite nice. But then today I was like, doesn't really, because I had orange cushions for the September, October, November months. But now I've replaced them with red cushions, so the orange in my rug doesn't really go.
Again,
Red cushions on your green sofa. I love that. Is walk me through it? Is a green like velvet
It's a
couch.
velvet green
That makes
couch.
perfect sense
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
it looks lovely. To be fair, it does look lovely.
Love that.
Can't wait till next year when it's everywhere. It's going to be great. So, Kathleen, you kind of briefly said before something that brings you joy. So we'll ask you the official question.
Okay.
Kathleen, tell us, what brings you joy?
What brings me joy at this time of year is Hogmanay. I bloody love Hogmanay. I think it's better than Christmas, and I'll come out here and say it.
Wow.
Because kind of like we said earlier, Christmas, it's such a build up, and then it's the day of, and you're like, oh, well, here we are. And then you kind of get to after Christmas dinner, and everyone's a wee bit sleepy now, and you don't really know what to do, and maybe there's a lot of family around and all this sort of thing. Hogmanay is about the moment, is about the build up, and there's so much. Sorry, I also need to blow my nose, but I've just got distracted by your earrings.
I've just clocked them as well. They are so
They're
good.
so fun.
I
Right,
got
anyway.
Kevin McAllister earrings.
They are Home
Yeah.
Alone
Home Alone
earrings,
earrings.
and they're
gorgeous.
brilliant.
I love it.
Right, I'll start that sentence again because I was being so snotty during it. Sorry again. Yeah, I love Hogmanay, and part of the reason I love it so much is it's so. If anyone's listening and they're not from Scotland, Hogmanay is basically just New Year's Eve, but we call it Hogmanay to feel special, and we basically give everything like a big Scottish slant. And there's a lot of wee traditions and stuff that you need to incorporate into your New Year's Eve that make it officially Hogmanay rather than just New Year's Eve. I think that's one of the reasons I like it so much is because I really like Burns Night as well, right? And these are 2 nights where the kind of what we're saying and doing this is we live somewhere miserable, right? We live somewhere very dark and very cold, and before electricity and stuff, very scary. What can we do to feel safe and happy? We're going to have a big meal. We're going to play some music. We're going to tell some poems. We're going to all sit and have a wee whiskey and feel warm and safe and good. Like, there's such a community and like nourishment to it.
I've never thought
Same.
of it like
I've
that.
never been a
I
big New Year's
love
person.
it.
I've just never been that. But that's so. What's your favourite New Year's tradition then? What's
Well,
all of them?
all of them, but I'm actually going to first foot you.
Oh my goodness.
There we
There's
go.
a bag. There's a
There's a
bag.
bag.
There
Coming
is
out.
a bag. Oh my
CMAT. Can I
goodness.
say this as well? Just so this is on. So this is CMAT merch. I ordered the bag. It came, but they were like, the bag that you got sent as merch was not good enough quality. That you paid for better than that, so you'll keep that bag and we'll send you a second bag. Shout out to CMAT, love to see it.
Wow.
Lovely.
Anyway, here's some whiskey.
Oh,
The prices on everything, but
That's
just
our, oh my goodness. A little
Lovely. Go
Aaron
from Aaron as
single
well.
malt.
some whiskey. So your first foot is the first person that comes to your house in the new year has to bring something for the house, and it's bad luck for them and for the house if they don't do that. So we used to always send, the tradition is that it's someone tall, dark and handsome.
Yeah.
So we would send my big brother out the house at like 11:58 from the ages of like 12 to when he left the house. He was not seeing the bells. We would send them out with whiskey, with some shortbreads.
Shortbread she's brought.
shortbread.
Thank you so much. Lovely.
And you're supposed to have salt. That was
really?
harder to buy, so here's some salt.
Lovely.
There you go.
Little sachet of salt. I didn't know about the salt, the whiskey and the shortbread, but I didn't know about salt.
Salt is
either.
for flavour for your pantry, that sort of thing. You're also supposed to bring coal. There was no coal in Sainsbury's. Here's a cricket lighter. There you go.
There we go. Fire. Warmth.
Flutes.
You've got.
Flutes.
Oh my goodness.
21st century
I didn't
tradition.
pre-assemble the flutes. Talk amongst
That's
yourselves.
okay.
Oh.
These are amazing. I love the little bits.
I love that you sent your brother out and you
Yeah.
were so traditional about it. You didn't even get to do the bells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we did very similar in my family, because my brother is dark hair, dark eyed, and is now tall. He went through stages of not being tall, obviously, as a child, but
It's childhood, really. isn't it?
childhood, yeah, we would shout.
Come out in a pair of high heels. Come
Stick
on.
him out. Come on out. But we had a thing like you had to go out the back door. So after the bells, he'd go out the back
Right.
door, walk round and ring the doorbell, and first foot is through the front door.
Yeah.
So you were allowed to do that. You had, as long as you went out the back and came in the front, that was bringing the new year in.
Oh.
So that was like, we weren't as traditional as yourself.
But I don't know why we did that, as if we thought that someone might, between 12 and 12:01, so that he could enjoy the bells with his family, we would be like, get out there now, just in case.
Some
anything
blonde-haired,
happens.
blue-eyed comes and knocks
I
on
know,
the door, and
don't
you're like,
bother.
oh,
I've
wait.
also got Prosecco. If you don't drink, I have appetizer. You and you want some Prosecco or appetizer?
Thoughtful.
Here she goes.
Lovely.
Look at
I
this.
love it's a screw top, so you need to pretend it made the noise. Lovely.
Yay.
Oh, amazing.
I love Hogmanay, and this is what it's all about.
Kathleen, dream guest, gifts and
Yes,
booze.
boo.
Here's the thing.
Whole
I think
thing.
it's
Whoa.
I think it's so fun, and like I say, like I love a bit of tartan. I think I make a whole thing of being Scottish and a bit of like, I think maybe it comes across as like, as if I think, maybe I'll sit beside the microphone so you can actually hear this.
She's too busy pouring the Prosecco. Priorities.
You should get someone in to do the bar. Cheers.
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 Cheers. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah,
That's nice as well.
Ooh. Nice.
Sainsbury's Taste of Difference. I can't remember what I was saying. Never mind.
So you shoved your brother out.
Yeah, just in case someone came in.
So yeah, it's that. Yeah, I like being Scottish. I love talking about being Scottish. I know I talk about it all the time, and I wear a lot of tartan. And it's not necessarily because I think being Scottish is the best, or because I think Scotland is better than other countries. But a lot of Scottish traditions are, to me, rooted in this like spiritual nourishment thing that I'm talking about, of being like warm and cozy and safe, and like we can't do anything about how scary and shite it is to live here. So what can we do? Get a drink, get some music on. We're going to have a dance. I love a ceilidh.
Oh, who doesn't love a ceilidh?
Oh, I
love
mean-
a ceilidh.
Come on.
Well, I mean, I always explain it to people on stage when we're talking about ceilidhs. I'm like, if you're not from Scotland, you've never been to a ceilidh, it's an opportunity to kick a relative.
Exactly.
Yes, I remember we had a ceilidh at my wedding, and my husband is from New Zealand, and we had a lot of New Zealanders and Americans, loads of different people, and watching them trying to do the ceilidh was just. I tried to teach him how to do it before, and we were doing the gay Gordons. He just wasn't getting it, and I was like, I want to properly do this. I kicked him off, got somebody else, finished doing
It's
it.
so fun.
It's so much fun.
But it's also like they don't understand. We are taught that in school.
It's in there.
Yeah.
It is rigid. I mean, do they still do this in
I
school?
think they do, right?
I
I mean,
think so.
I I don't hang around many schools, but I would imagine that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Me
Well,
neither.
I think it's normally primary 6, 7. I think it kicks
That's
in.
right,
Isn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Normally 6, 7, and basically from September through to December, you're heel toe, 1, 2,
Yep.
3.
Yeah, I love it. We were at one of our pals got married. He's American. They were both American actually, and they got married in Ireland, in Dublin, because that was where they'd had their honeymoon, where they'd had their first holiday together or something. And so the room was all Americans, all some like German and Dutch pals that we have. We were the only Scottish people there, and they had like an Irish folk band, and we were going hey the whole time and doing gay Gordons, and they were like, "Can you teach me that?" And it was like so fun because you
Yeah.
feel like there's something really like, oh yeah, this does make sense. This does feel right. This does feel good. And kind of this is it as well, like cringe stuff. Of stuff where like you don't want to. I don't want to do social dancing. I don't want to say a poem. Get up and
Get
say
your
a poem.
backside up
and
there.
enjoy
it.
Get
Exactly.
doing
Enjoy
it.
it. Yeah.
That's lovely. I wonder where a lot of them come from. Because I remember for first foot, my dad's got dark hair, so he was always the one that did it for us. But we always got my grandparents, and we should always give them a lump of coal. So my granddad would do was put the coal in. He had a big fish tank, put it in the fish tank. So at that one point, I had like 12 things of coal, and then all the fish died.
I was about to say, I'm not entirely sure you're meant to put coal in a
I don't
fish
think
tank.
coal. Well, they all
Yeah.
died, so I don't think. And he did have to replace them throughout the year, so I think that may have been. I don't know what decided. We'll just put them in the fish tank, but
I thought you meant that like the storage solution just looked like a fish
no,
tank.
it was
There
an
were fish in
actual
it.
with tropical fish. None of your goldfish that are a bit
A
more
goldfish
hardy.
would have eaten it. They
Yeah,
wouldn't
it was,
even,
Wow.
like, yeah.
So those fish hate New Year. They hated when that was
they were
coming
like,
up.
here's another bit of
Can't
coal.
relate. Yeah.
Bye-bye, brothers.
So what do you think what do you think your best New Year's been? Do you have a New Year that stands out for you with what you did or who you hung out with or?
I have one in mind from when I was at uni. That was just the like the platonic ideal of New Year. I was steaming.
Great.
I had a nice outfit on. This is something I love as well. Nice outfit in the house.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting dressed up. I'm feeling gorgeous. I'm not leaving the house. Love
The dream.
The dream. I felt stunning. In retrospect, looking back, I didn't look as stunning as I felt, but that's okay. That's been 20. Do you know what I mean? That's absolutely fine. And it was just like pretty chaotic. And there was a wee bit of drama, but not too much drama. And there was, do you know what I mean? And I said, get that window open. Do you open in the window at midnight? So we do that as well. Again, I'm speaking to non-Scots listening. You know what I'm talking about.
We know what you're talking about. Explain
But-
for the non-Scots, why do you have to open the window?
You need to open a window to let the old year out and let the new year in. But it also has like a double, the other like thing that I really like about it is when you open the window, you get a big blast of like freezing cold winter air and you go, oh, when you've probably already been drinking quite a bit. And it's that feeling of like when you're at a party and you go outside to chat to your pal, it's like that, but like in your house.
In your house.
So yeah, it was so kind of perfect, and it was hundreds of people and way too many people in the flat. And my pal's a really good host, and she made loads of foods and everything. And then over COVID, me and my partner Ryan, we had our first kind of Hogmanay with no one else there, and I was dead sad because I was like, I love Hogmanay, and I'm not going to see my family. I'm not going to do this. And he went out and first footed with stuff just from like gave me like a match and all these daft wee bits, and I was like, yeah, okay. It's a time to like sit and reflect and be like, cool, we're done with this year. What we're going to do now?
I see. I love that. Because I'll be honest with you, and I think you're giving me a new perspective on it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Hogmanay.
All right, Jay.
No, but everything that you've said, I'm like, oh yeah, that, because what you've saying is you're kind of bringing me back to my childhood, and that's the way that we would do it. And my mum and dad would always have a massive big party when we were growing up. And all the neighbours would be around, and the party would start at like 9:00, and go on until like the wee small hours, and we would just be allowed to run a bit mad. Nobody was telling you to go to your bed because it was Hogmanay. You would end up falling down in a heap, and like you'd wake up in your bed because your dad or whoever had like picked you up and shoved you all in the same bed. You'd wake up next to all the neighbour kids, and I loved that. And there was karaoke. This is like before karaoke machines. My dad would print out lyrics.
Oh,
that is so
Print out lyrics, and everybody would just sing. And he had a big walking stick that he turned into a giant hook. So if anybody was up for too long, they would chant, "Bring out the hook, bring out the hook," and you'd get hooked off of the stage.
Sounds great.
And it was amazing. But then as I became a teenager and like in my latter teens and certainly in my 20s, Hogmanay became like a pressure. You know, like you go into the garden part, like you go into the Princess Street Gardens, or you going up to Glasgow, up to the George Square when that used to be a thing. That's how old I am. There used to be a big party in Glasgow, in George Square in Glasgow, with bands and stuff like that. And it would just turn into drama. Somebody's boyfriend would split up with them. There would be greeting. Somebody would be throwing up all over themselves. And I wasn't a big drinker in my late teens. It wasn't my very early teens. But I'd kind of got over it by the time I became legal of age. I was like, and it just became this thing that I was like, had to kind of endure. And then I became a comic at the age of 21. So all my Hogmanays were work. So I worked every Hogmanay. And I've had some lovely Hogmanays at work, but equally it's work, right? So you're at work. And so I've never really been that big a fan until COVID, where I had my first Hogmanay we now don't live there, but in the flat that I lived in at that time, and realised, because I'd never been home for Hogmanay, that you could see the fireworks from our flat and stuff like that. So there was people doing fireworks. It wasn't the official fireworks then, but they still did some fireworks and you could actually see them. And I had a wee bottle of Jack Daniels, honey, and sat and chatted about the year and like reflected and thinking about what was coming next. And
you want one with not a lot of pressure, I think, makes it
and then I went
better.
straight back into doing Hogmanay, working again in Hogmanay. After that, and so I think you've brought me back my joy.
Brought us back a bit of.
I think this Hogmanay tomorrow after this podcast goes out
tomorrow,
officially,
guys.
night. I think I am working, but I think I'm gonna enjoy it.
Lean into the tradition.
Lean into tradition. I think I'll get some coal. I'll take a wee whiskey, some shortbread, open a window.
There we go. Now I feel so. I like New Year, and I'm going to say something controversial, and I don't know how you're going to feel about this, Kathleen. So as someone that lived New Zealand for a long time, I actually think a hot New Year is better than a cold New Year.
Okay, walk me through it. I've never experienced it.
Well, so cold Christmas, much better than a warm Christmas. I think it's not the same. Like hot Christmas, you're on the beach, disgusting, barbecue, get out here. What is this? Right. But hot New Year, because I think it's there's no pressure. So it's like all day you just like it's normally like a friends thing. So we would go away sometimes. You go to the beach, you chill out, you can go swimming in the sea. Then you all just like get together and drink and have some nice food. And it was that really nice chill vibe that I think. So that's why I always think hot New Year, but cold Christmas.
But also you get to do New Year first.
That's true. In New Zealand, we get the first sunrise, I think, of the year. In Auckland. So we get it first. So we're like, we were here before, guys. But
you guys are so.
Oh my god, you guys are so 12 hours ago. But it's good. So I would, but it's obviously there's not any traditions really over in New Zealand.
This is. I think I would like to try a New Year somewhere else. Because I think it would be really fun to see. But part of the cold is a big part of it for me. Do you know what I mean? So like I have this thing, which my partner always makes fun of me for, right? When you're having foods, bear with me. Do you guys know food? No.
I've heard of
when
it.
you're having foods, every so often you just need to put yourself back in the context of the first people who were eating this. Right, so if we're having like a steak pie or roast dinner, shut your eyes for me for a second.
Okay.
Right, get into it.
I'm loving this ASMR.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine you've been like toiling in the fields. It's freezing cold. Your fingers are red, blistered. You cannot wait to get back in the house. You get there, you sit down. There's like a big oak table. There's candles and stuff on it. There's a fire going, and someone brings you a steak pie. You're going to eat that that steak pie is going to taste better than anything you've ever eaten in your life because it's cold outside. Go for it.
Can I ask a question about the steak pie?
Of course.
Are we sausage in?
Whatever you want. Yes.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Because
So
I feel very angry if I get a steak pie without sausage.
with no sausage.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. We're all women, so we probably made the bastard steak pie. But
That's true. We've been slaving away after we come in from the fields. But
yeah.
So it's sausage
But
in.
this is what a sausage in, right?
Okay.
You're freezing, and you take a big bite of that, and it's meat and gravy and veggies, and you've been eating like onions and oats and all that all week, cabbage. And now
Disgusting.
it's you've got a wee treat. If you're eating a steak pie, you can open your eyes, Genji. What?
She was in the
zone.
She's like, now I know there's sausage in there.
Like,
I'm in
yeah,
it. I'm in
staying
there.
I was
here.
totally
Carry on
in
with
it.
me. I'm just doing the
Listen, I've had
sausages.
a lot of disappointing steak. I'm older than both of you. There's been a lot of disappointing steak pies in my background. There's
We're
nothing
healing
worse.
today. We're going to heal that.
Nothing worse.
But that's nice that you're so grateful for, because I think
just
most
think
people
it
just
totally-
don't even think about that, but it's so true.
Sometimes you just need to eat it, right? Just eat your food. But yeah, I think just like, where did this tradition come from of having a steak pie on New Year's Eve? Because it's cold and it feels good to like sit and eat something, and you just need to remember, like, we take stuff for granted.
We do.
Yeah, we do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know it's so
I'm feeling nourished.
I know.
Yes,
It's my imaginary steak pie and Kathleen's words.
I'm feeling very,
beautiful.
very Scottish. Feel like reconnect with
I've
my
always
roots.
said I'm kind of a steak pie of a woman. That's kind of the
Sausage
person I
in.
am. Sausage in. That's very much who I am as a person. Yeah. Cheers.
A steak pie of a woman.
That's
I love
great.
that.
Just some more.
Yeah, go on then.
Finish
I'll
it
have that.
off.
Thanks.
You'll have to have it because I've got to drive later.
Oh, I'll
so
have yours,
I'm
that's
having
fine.
I'm actually
Thanks.
I'm sipping away. I won't have too much, but I'm enjoying
Okay.
It's nice having a wee bubbles.
a little
Just
bit
a wee
of bubbles.
bubble on the 30th.
I'm a big fan of bubbles.
Yeah, I love a bubble.
I do.
I love bubbles.
I've got that from my mum, and like I am very much looking forward to. I'll be going to my mum's on Sunday. It's her birthday is on the Monday, and I know as soon as you walk through the door, she'll be like, right, should we get the bubbles on? Should we get the bubbles out the
Yeah.
freezer? Like, I'm like, yeah, and she's right into cremant at the moment.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, and she's like,
Are you okay?
not
yeah,
as
I just wasn't. That's,
not as expensive as champagne, but not as cheap as prosecco.
so it's no sweet
Cremant,
spot.
it's a
Where
nice
is it?
sweet spot.
Is it French? What's the
Cremant. I'm not
Sounds very
exactly
French.
sure. It
Yeah.
sounds French.
Right, okay.
Cremant. It's nice.
All right,
okay.
It's I highly recommend. Get yourself a wee bottle of Cremant.
Lovely, because I always go
Okay.
for prosecco, but I prefer it to
Yeah,
champagne.
I'm a
But maybe
Prosecco
I'll try
girl.
the Cremant.
Well,
I will not check the label. I'm saying I am. Hand it to me, I'll drink it. I'm not- yeah.
I feel like prosecco's good, or bubbles. If you're at a wedding, I feel like if I stay on prosecco, I'm fine for like the whole night. It's when I mix. It's when I get a bit
It's- yeah,
hungover. But I think if you just stay on the prosecco,
you know when they say like the grape and the grain, you shouldn't have like the grape and the
Yeah.
grain because that's what. But I am very much like that. If I start on fizz, I have to remain on fizz.
I'm the same. Yep.
Right.
Like I can have a wee glass of white with my dinner, but that's about it.
So do you actually? And you like whiskey, Kathleen? You drink it as
Well, I'm a bit of a baby. A whiskey that you would give to a child is the whiskey that I want.
okay.
So like,
so in Scotland, straight up,
so straight,
hardcore, straight up
yeah,
to the.
Lafroig. No, anything that tastes like smoke or peat or anything, like spiritually, I'm all in. But I don't like it. Anything
Yeah.
whiskey flavored, whiskey sauce, whiskey, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in big time. But the actual drinking of the whiskey, I'm putting on a face.
Yeah, because I don't like whiskey either.
You don't?
Yeah.
No, I'm
I
not.
love a Lafroig.
See, I just
Really?
tastes
I
like,
love
tastes
it.
like petrol.
It tastes like bitterness and burning tyres. And as
Yeah.
I say to audiences, that's what it is to be Scottish.
Yeah. Yeah, big time.
I mean, we'll have a wee whiskey sauce while they're all having.
Yeah, exactly.
I
We'll
own a
drink
little
it
bit
from
of-
the jug. Yeah, yeah.
I own a little bit of Lafroig.
Do you?
I own a little bit of peat. I get a wee email update. Yep. I bought a square
So you've got
on
on
on Isla on the Lafroig peat base.
That's cool.
I get a little update on how my peat is getting on every year.
Good.
Because like they obviously whatever they do to it and
Yeah.
it changes every year, and so now and again I'll get a wee email usually around about this time of year, to be fair, it'd be like, it's a very peaty peat this year. The peat is as peaty as you could. It's very a dirty peat. It's a smoky dirty
And do you
peat.
think they're individually checking the different peats, or do
Listen,
you
I
think it might
paid
be a
my
mass email?
subscription.
So
So
they
no,
must
it comes
be.
up with hiya and
Hiya, Jay.
hiya Jay.
Yep.
Number 83569
Yeah.
or whatever it is. That's not my actual number, just in case anybody
That's
anybody was
okay.
thinking about stealing my bit of peat.
Going up trying to get the peat.
Oh no! I mean, I have it here, but I'm not
Right.
telling you
Don't
where
tell
it is.
me. So
yeah,
do they use that to make Lafroig?
they do. So yeah, they use the peat and
But your peat.
my peat. Well, they dig it up every year and then they get another bit. So like
Oh, okay, I
it's
see.
yeah. So they use
Right.
the fresh peat every year and then they I don't know how you plant
Fresh peat.
I don't know what.
They send you whatever old emails go and just say, I'm not
Hiya.
believing that you've got an individual bit. They're just like, yeah, give us your
Aye,
money.
your
Get my
Scotland.
initials on it.
Great. Aye.
It's great. It's great. every now and again I get offered like a cut price bottle. When I say cut price, it's still over £100. No, I'm not saying I've ever bought the bottle that they've sent me, but we're big Lafroy drinkers in the house. And yes, I don't drink it as much as I used to before I had a child, because I find that a whiskey hangover
Rough stuff.
is the worst hangover you can possibly ever get.
Yeah.
It is. I remember having, I had the worst whiskey hangover on my 29th birthday.
Oh.
Because I was not well. My birthday is the 28th of December, and I had a whole load of people came through, a whole load of the Glasgow acts came through. This is quite a long time ago. Came through, we just got a flat. They came through, we had a big party. I hadn't been well, and somebody suggested, by somebody I am talking Vladimir McTavish, suggested I have a hot toddy. Because that would help, because I wasn't. I was feeling the cold.
Yep.
He made me a wee hot toddy. It went down very well. He made me another one. By the fifth or sixth one, we decided to dispense with the hot toddiness, and I just drank straight whiskey. And I've never had a hangover where I couldn't actually physically move. And the next day, my house was full of people. And you know that way you're like, nothing's worse.
Get out of my
Fuck
house.
off.
Yeah.
And my wee brother actually, because I kept throwing up, he actually dragged my bed, my mattress, dragged the mattress off my bed, dragged it through my flat and into the living room with me on top of it, so that I could lie and watch telly with everybody else.
With all your pals round
with
you?
all my pals round me. When I nursed my whiskey hangover, and I had to do a gig that night.
No.
Yeah, so I had to get back up on the horse for.
There's no worse than a hangover where you feel like you're going to die.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I will never feel well again. Why have I ever done this to myself? And a whiskey hangover.
A whiskey hangover. I've never had one as bad. Never with bubbles.
Well, it sounds like you put the work in, to be fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. It was it was a big night.
Oh, I'm knackered listening to that. I don't really get hungover, but I think a big part of that is I get so grumpy. If I start getting drunk, I'm just like, do you know what? I'm not angry, I'm not violent, I just want to be home. It means I want to be in my bed. So I don't really get drunk anymore.
Yeah. I can't hack the hangovers now.
I can't hack it. I don't think it's worth it.
No.
Here's the thing. But I'll phone you on New Year's Eve and you'll see how merry I'm feeling then.
I mean, I think that brings us beautifully on to the next section of the show. But before I do that, I just need to ask you one more thing.
Okay.
About your joy for Hogmanay.
Okay.
Do you make a New Year's resolution?
Yeah.
Yes, I do usually. Like stand up was a New Year's resolution for me.
Ooh, that went well.
2020.
Great timing.
Great timing. So everything in comedy is timing. So yeah, and it did go well. So yeah, I think it's, as I say, like it's nice to just have a reason to say, right, okay, how am I feeling right now? How do I want to be feeling? What's the in between here? Lovely to do that. If they don't happen, that's also fine. I think people are so like, what's the point in making a New Year's resolution? You'll never keep them, because it's nice to sit and think.
It's intentions, isn't it? It's about setting intentions. Do you do a New Year's resolution?
I don't normally do it. I probably should, 'cause it's that good idea about like manifesting something into, but no, I can't say. I mean, it's always things like go to the gym more and stop drinking.
Yeah, I've stopped doing that.
I always think that like January is a crap time to try and do a fitness thing or to try and like go, I'm going to totally change my life.
Because you've still got your Christmas chocolate. And I'm like, I'm not going to not eat this.
Go hill climbing in January.
Exactly.
No, you're not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also it's a cold, damp, miserable month where everybody's skint.
Yeah.
So why would you then pile more misery on top of that? Like I used to love it when, again, Vladimir McTavish used to do a bit of material where he would go, people going like, I'm giving up drinking for New Year's. I'm doing dry January. And he's like, I'm going to fucking Ibiza. That's what to do in January. Get off your tits.
Okay. Do you resolution?
I have in the past done resolutions. The pole dancing, that
Oh,
was a
yeah.
that was a New Year's
Good.
resolution. And I've had various ones over the year. My one last year I failed at miserably, like my 2024 one. My aim was that I was going to read a book or at least listen to a book, because I do a lot of driving obviously with the job, a month, right? Because I used to be an avid reader.
Right.
And I feel like social media has stolen that from
Yes.
Because rather than going to my bed and reading a book, I'll sit and
Scrolling.
doom scroll,
Yeah.
which I've stopped doing recently, which I'm quite proud of myself. But I haven't replaced it with a book yet. And so I think, and I'm always very inspired by Christopher MacArthur Boyd.
Yeah.
Because he always puts a post up around this time of year with all the books, his book recommendations, because he's an avid reader. There are books that I wouldn't read. It's a lot of social economical politics.
Yeah.
There's a lot, you know, he wants us to know he's smart, does Christopher. We know you're smart. I know
we
you're
get it.
smart, CMB. I get it. All right, you're
We got
reading. Yeah, okay, I get it. You're reading the Russian classic.
Are they his books?
Oh,
for
there
God's
his fucking
sake.
books
can't
out.
escape.
There they are.
Are they actually his books?
Yeah.
Oh,
Those,
fuck off.
look at these. Right, that's all his music
Creative
books.
Quest.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's always a couple of Russian authors, will probably not this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not the year for Russian authors,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
say.
But yeah, I
That's
mean,
quite
I
a hard
think
resolution. One a month. That's
one a
tricky.
month, but I might try and see if I can do it this year. So I might
Yeah.
carry that on. I think I only managed about 6, and I'll tell you what, they're not. Most of them are around crime or
Yeah.
like I love a good murder mystery.
Yes.
I have read a few. Again, you know when you were saying about people who love a bit of cringe. So I cringe my entire family out because we go on a family holiday every year.
Okay.
And I purposely, because I've got a Kindle, but I will purposely, I think you're not on your holidays until you've bought a book in the airport.
Yeah.
So I will buy a physical book and as cringy as possible so that everybody's like, oh my God, I can't believe she's sitting around the pool. And people know that she's with us and look at the book that she's reading. The last 2 years, because he brought out a second book, 2 years ago, Judge Rinder.
Oh my
Of
God.
course.
Judge Rinder has written fucking cracking book.
Was it okay?
Yeah, it's a belter of a book. It's a mystery. It's about.
Also, it's not an autobiography. It's
No, it's
Loads
Judge
of fun.
Rinder's written books about. It's like a series about
Okay.
this clerk, this guy who's clerking to become a judge.
Okay.
You know, decades away, and it's like a murder mystery thing. And then he wrote a second part, and you wouldn't have seen my face when I came walking out the bookstore. I went, Judge Rinder's not. He's written a second one. They're all
He's
like,
done it again.
they're all like, for God's sake. And I'll sit proudly like that. You sit there with your war and peace.
Absolutely.
I've got my Judge Rinder.
But this is, I love this because it's this, it was actually, you reminded me, it was one of my resolutions to read more this year because the point is, yeah, sit and spend time doing something that's not looking on your phone, getting stressed out, whatever. And I looked at my stats. I'm on Storygraph. I like logging the books. Looked at my stats and I was annoyed because loads of them are audiobooks. And I was saying to myself, well, does that really count? Does that really count? Says who?
Exactly.
Aye,
Doesn't matter.
says
You're still
who?
getting the information.
I'm still consuming it. I'm learning stuff. And it's this like snobbery around, oh, I want to do something to improve myself. I want to do something to make myself happier. And then people go, well, it doesn't count if it's Judge Rinder. It doesn't count if it's audiobook.
Totally.
Shut up.
And that's why, like, because I had that at one point as well, the like resolution to read more, but you set the bar too high.
Yeah.
Start with Judge Rinder. I think I was like, right, I'm going to read books, and my husband is a very avid reader, so I was like, I want to read classics. Give me some like books that everyone should read. So I ordered Catch 22 off the. I got about 3 chapters still on my bed, my nightstand, and 3 chapters in, and I'm like, this is rough. And he's like, I told you not to start with Catch 22. Start with Judge Rinder. Go in easy, or have an
in
audiobook,
easy,
and
have a
then
nice time.
you don't need to. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I've never read a lot of the classics.
Me
My
neither.
husband's read all the classics.
Yeah.
And I I remember having to read Little Women for school.
Right.
And Sunset Song, and I know you love Scotland, but I think we can all
Listen,
agree
go
that
for it.
Sunset Song is a depressing fucking book.
Dirge. Dirge.
So hard. You're just like,
Yeah.
they did need a steak pie, and they did need a good
They
fucking
needed
time.
in out the
They
cold.
needed in it the
Yeah.
cold. They needed a nicer time than they were
Yeah.
having.
Miserable.
So yeah, I'm maybe going to try and read more.
Yeah.
But shall we move on?
Yes,
let's
to
do it.
the next bit of the show. Here we go. It is Jay's Joy Killers.
Ooh.
So we know that Hogmanay brings you joy.
Yes.
What kills your joy?
Big one for me, which I see a lot at this time of year. Do you know when it's like Christmas jumper day or whatever? Not my fave, but fine. Not my fave. Christmas jumper day. An ironic Christmas jumper. Grow up. Grow up.
God, I don't think I've ever seen Kelly got ever so much contempt over anything, and you're like, grow up.
Like, What do you mean?
Like a bah humbug.
Oh.
Right.
Because you want to be involved, but you want to let us all know that you're
funny.
You're funnier than us. You're better than us. It just annoys me. And do you know what as well? This is one I thought of coming in. And I was on the train on the way in, right? There was 2 women sitting. I don't know if they'd been out for lunch or something with their pals. And they were naysaying. They were shit talking. And if you're listening, this is about you. Their pals' Christmas decor in her house, in her own house. And they were saying, oh, it's tacky. She's got this up, she's got this up. They were making fun of it. And I was like, if you don't let her live, laugh, love, it really, really annoys me. They were saying, oh, she's got this and this and this. Making fun of her, like, oh, she's got the grey couch, she's got blue lights or whatever. I hate a blue light. I hate a blue Christmas light. I want a warm white.
Exactly.
Right?
Warm white.
But it's not my house. And who do you think you are to be mocking what people want to do in their space in their festive time at Christmas, right? And anything that's to do with like festivities or having fun that you go, nah, you're not doing that right. That's not the way I like it. You should get 3 cards. This was for 2025. Everyone should get like 3 cards at the start of the year that says you're in the wrong. And you can hand them out to people in public, and they'll have a wee bit underneath that either says your friend's too polite or you're both wrong, and you can tick which one it is and hand it over and be like,
that would start a lot of fights on trains, but that would be that's good though, to be like, you know what? Yeah, I mean, seasonal decorator, you'd be raging if someone come round
if someone was talking
someone
about
shit
you.
talks your new Santa rug.
Oh, gee.
Who would? Who would?
Throwing hands.
Yeah, big time. I would have walked over and slapped her if that had been your rug. She was talking about.
That is very, like,
I think it's mean-spirited.
It is mean-spirited.
Yeah.
I saw a thing on some social media, I can't remember what it was, and it was somebody who had decorated their house like we decorated houses in the 80s.
Lovely.
And, you know, they were going around and I was like, oh my God, now yous are probably too young for this, but one of the big things that you knew it was Christmas was your mum would get out. It was like a kind of triangle thing. It was like kind of tin foily, like you would pull it out like this, and you would go from the 4 corners of your room, and they would meet in the middle.
I know what you're talking about.
Like
Jay,
on your
you're not that
your
much
pendant.
older than us.
I know, she thinks she
I
goes on
know.
how
Well,
old
I
she is.
am.
She's
I'm like,
not.
I'm over a decade older than both of you.
Just.
Yeah. But anyway, go on. Yeah.
It's like it would come down, you know.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You would know it was as soon as you walked in the house and you saw that, you're like, it's Christmas.
Lovely.
And I saw it and I went, oh, what a fabulous idea. And I went online to see if I could find it, because I thought, I'm not doing the full 80s look, but if I can put that somewhere in the house, that's going to make me feel like my mammy's at Christmas.
Yeah.
But it was like 60 quid or something. When I went, nah, we'll just remember. We'll just use memory.
Use the nostalgia.
I'll just think about it in my
But
brain.
this
Yeah.
person had done their whole house. There was loads of that. There was the tree. It was just a fire hazard, like tinseled out its nuts.
You'll have to see it.
And I was just like, that's it, isn't it? It's supposed to be tacky. It's supposed to be fun.
Yep.
It's supposed to be a bit silly and like.
And nothing more than I hate when you see all these influencers when it's like beige Christmas, white Christmas, and it's all like there's one woman, I can't remember, and she's on TikTok, and everything's white, and she's got kids. I'm like, there's no way. There is no way that this house is staying as pristine as you're presenting it, because, and it's so boring.
Well, see, I was about to go, but that's her house, Hannah. But
Yeah.
it's also the Wayne's house.
It is their
And is
house.
that fun for everyone?
Yeah, and you put your house on TikTok, I'm going to judge it.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, yeah, fair enough. Fair play.
I mean, it looks beautiful, but
Can't
it just,
argue.
it's just, I like a bit of tacky nostalgia
I
at
like,
Christmas.
it's nice, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
a
You're
little
right, something
bit-
that like, could that go in fire? That's what you want.
That's what you want.
A little bit of danger.
Is it? Are you going to be, as a small child in the 90s, standing next to something in a shell suit and go up with a blue light? We lost so many kids that way. We lost
Those
them
were
all.
the days. Those were the days.
So that's your joy killer, is shit talkers on the public
and
transport.
bad Christmas jumpers.
And bad
But,
Christmas jumpers.
Anything that's something festive and fun, and people go,
Yeah.
just keep it to yourself.
I bought one year, I was quite drunk, and my father-in-law is very into his politics, hates the Tories, big voter for Scottish independence, all that sort of thing. And I, quite drunk, saw something online. It was £45, and I bought him a Fuck the Tories Christmas jumper.
Lovely.
But I gave it to him, and I could tell by his face, he was like, oh, and then a few days later he gave it back and he went, I wouldn't ever be able to wear that because of the swear word.
Oh, Yeah, the sentiment.
The sentiment, not an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
actually,
perfect.
fuck the Tories, but
Yeah.
I don't think Christmas and fuck the Tories. It's like that. So it's still sitting in the back of a cupboard. I should have brought it. I should have
worn
given
Oh,
it
you should have
away.
really gone down a dream in Glasgow.
I know. Could have like given it away in a wee prize draw. Maybe I'll take it tomorrow night to the Glee and give it away. Well, have you got any joy killers at this time of year?
I think I'm kind of the same. Like, I hate when people like just enjoy your Christmas or
Yeah,
whatever.
don't worry
Like,
about it, yeah.
I think for me, so I'm not a big Christmas dinner person, is what I would say. Like, I'm
Okay.
not someone that like I don't really like. I will eat the leg and a few parsnips, and that's all I mean. So I feel like I'm maybe a joy killer in that I don't really like that. I'm just not a big. I'm not a big.
chipolata?
I'm not a big gravy person. I'm not really a big. I know. So then people are like, "What's wrong with you?" And it's like,
You're not a
like I'm
totty
not like
girl.
near the kitchen at Christmas. I am on bar. That has always been my duty from
Lovely.
being far too young. I'm on the bar. You know, my mum and my
Proper
sister.
Scottish upbringing.
Proper
Yeah.
Scottish upbringing. I'm on the bar. I do the Christmas cocktails, and then I'll just drunkenly eat some.
Everyone's
Do you
got their
do-
strengths.
Do you do a fancy Christmas cocktail?
I was quite fancy last year. We had some sort of festive. We had festive White Russians. We had a sort of festive French martini. We did
What made it festive?
Well, I just called it festive.
Lovely.
Love it.
A wee bit of garnish on the
Perfect,
sides.
yeah.
Listen,
Bit of
that's
time
how
in
I'm
that.
Have you seen these? Because the big thing this year is the wee ice cube, like with the cranberries and the wee kind of sprig of
Yeah.
Oh, you
thyme
freeze
or
them.
something. You
It looks
freeze
like a
it
wee
and it looks like a
snowball.
wee Christmas tree. Yeah, it's like a
Lovely.
little, which is fine until it melts, and then you've got 2 cranberries and a sprig of rosemary.
A tree.
Yeah, you just, well, it's not
Gin and
great for
tonic.
your drink. I know, and I did try it last year. We tried to I put like ice and sugar around the rims and tried to like rim the glasses with
Nice.
stuff. But the problem was, as you get more drunk, and I had these little sprinkles, were like little gingerbread man, and they just went everywhere, and it was absolute pandemonium.
Rimming is difficult.
There
with
was
a
rimming was,
beverage.
especially
Yeah.
when your family's round,
couple
it's
of
a
drinks,
nightmare.
yeah, man.
So it was just sprinkles everywhere, and then I was like, help yourself to the bar. So yeah, but no, yeah, I think it's just the Christmas dinner. There's the
Christmas
big one.
dinner, joy killer. My joy killer. Around Hogmanay, my big joy killer is the drama queen or king.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
that's whenever, and I mean I'm kind of past it now. I'm at an age where it doesn't really happen. But because of the industry that we work in, I will. If you're in a toilet with me around Hogmanay and you're sitting there greeting and causing your pal to sit in the toilet with you while you go on about whatever, you will receive an eye roll from me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you're ruining somebody else's
Yeah.
Hogmanay.
Yep.
Get a grip of yourself. No, do you want the real answer? No, they're not worth it. They're
No.
not worth it. Buck your fucking self up and get on with your life.
They never are. They never are. Have you ever
Yep.
cried about someone in a toilet when you were drunk? Yeah. Are you with them now? No.
No,
Exactly.
So
never.
I couldn't agree more, Jay.
Woo!
There we
So
go.
yeah,
So that's us.
lovely. Sorted.
We've got our final section of today,
Yes.
and here she be.
Oh, now
Oh.
this is Hannah's headlines. So basically, I pick a story sort of every episode that's brought joy that I've seen, and I've decided to do a recap this year. We're going to look back over some of the best stories that have happened in 2024. So the one that I did see that I found was that a woman has been given I should have looked up some sort of award from the king because she saved her twin in a crocodile attack.
All right.
Talk about badass lady.
Yeah.
So what happened was that these twins were on holiday in Mexico and they were scuba diving. A crocodile came up, attacked her twin. This badass bitch punched the crocodile in the face, like attacked it,
Yeah.
let go of the sister, and now she's got an award from the king for her bravery.
I think it's a Medal of Honour, isn't
Medal
it?
of Honour,
Or Medal
that's
of
what it is.
Bravery.
Something
like
yeah.
that.
Wow.
And big sausage fingers himself, he gave it out, and that's why he tried to pin it on there. It took a few attempts.
Just
Yeah.
rubbing it.
And I was like, what? I mean, a punch in a crocodile in the face. I mean, that is quite the heroic.
That's something. I mean, I love my brother and he
I
loves
know.
me, but either of us get attacked by a crocodile, we'll do a lovely eulogy. That's,
Yeah.
you know, that's.
You do think
There's
would
no
you,
way.
Would you not just cut and run? Would
Like,
you?
I'm not saying we wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
We would not physically be able.
Yeah.
Good honour. Yeah.
I think amazing. I
Yeah.
feel like I watch so many like 911, Grey's Anatomy. Like I love all that. I feel like I want to say that I would jump in there. I'd be knocking 10 bells at that crocodile, but I'm not sure because you never know until you're faced with these things
yeah.
with
how you're
Grey's
going to
Anatomy,
react.
you want to wait until they've been mauled and then you could save them
Then I could
afterwards.
save them
But you need
afterwards.
burr holes.
But like I mean, crocodiles are evil. They do.
They are.
They drown you, right? They
Yeah.
pull you
Or
down
they
and
roll you.
They
roll
grab you, roll you, and try and drown you. So you have to like get them. I was like, that's amazing.
That's really scary.
But she was like, I mean, they're twins as well.
Sorry, is that a crocodile brooch? She's
Yes.
mocking the crocodile.
There's one that she gave her a crocodile brooch.
It's like bringing the crocodile's head.
Which I don't know. This is the one that got attacked by a crocodile. I don't know if she'd appreciate that. Was the crocodile brooch?
Well, she's wearing it.
She was
Yeah,
wearing it.
brag.
I know it was so brave. I saw them talking about it. I saw her talking about it on This Morning or Lorraine or something during the year. And yeah, she just said that something came over her where she not today, Satan.
You've caught me in a bad mood.
No,
crocodile.
yeah.
I mean, what do you reckon's the biggest animal you could kill with your bare hands? Because I don't like that. You, if you're locked in a room and it's you versus an animal, what do you reckon?
This is like that bear thing, isn't it?
I think
Yeah.
a fox.
A fox, yeah.
Because I'm going to take some injuries. If it's completely unharmed, it's like a spider. But I think I could kill a fox.
Fox is quite a good one. See, I thought this before, and first of all I said badger. But I think
Badgers are vicious.
which is what everyone then reacts when I say
Yeah.
badger. So I'm
But
like, maybe
then-
not badger.
Especially your honey badger, they will tear your fucking arm off.
Badger.
And I would have said do you know like a Komodo dragon, like one of the big lizards or
No,
something
right.
like that. But then I've seen a few bonds now, and
They're evil.
Are they
Yeah.
not poisonous as well?
I think
or venomous?
so,
one of
they're
them.
venomous. Yeah, I think when they bite you, they've got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? See the badger? My reasoning for the fox was I'll take a tanking. I'm the first to admit that, right? But what is it going to do that would kill me before I could kill it?
That's true.
It's just going to be scratching me and biting me and all that. Whereas I think I could get a fist in its throat or something.
Yeah, you stand on
Yeah.
its neck.
You
Yeah.
know, I think you could kill a badger.
Thank you,
Unharmed?
Kathleen.
No. No way.
No. I'm taking some serious
Scarred
hits.
for life.
But push come to shoves, that badger's going down.
I think
Thank
you
you.
could.
I feel
I'm,
so
I'm
seen.
going horse.
no, there's no way.
A Shetland pony, maybe.
How would you kill it?
I mean, the legs notoriously a danger zone for the horse.
Yeah.
but
Sweep it.
I don't-
Sweep it.
but that's not what kills it. They
But it
break their
couldn't-
leg and then they get
is it?
shot. But you
Yeah.
could just shoot it, I suppose.
And then I would just.
Yeah,
be
you're not
like,
allowed a gun. That makes
All
it
right,
too
well,
easy.
never mind.
That's-
Square one.
But
Yeah.
once I've swept its legs,
With what are you sweeping its legs with?
my legs.
Her legs.
You're gonna.
Look at the
I'm
boots.
gonna,
She's gonna be fine.
yeah.
You're gonna Black Widow spin, take out this horse,
Take
by
out the
leg.
horse.
and the horse will probably then just stand up.
No, they can't.
Again.
They're
No.
fucked. You know horses.
They've broke their leg. She's broke its
I
leg.
broke its
She's
leg.
Double.
Oh,
cell jump.
It's a
Legs
weak
out.
spot.
You've broke it. Okay, so you broke this horse's leg and then just go and stamp in its head or something,
Yeah.
or
And
just
sharks.
leave it. Shark. Ooh.
No.
Straight, you just
No,
punch them. Sharks don't like being punched. They think you're a
But
dolphin.
you've just gone,
You're like,
I don't know what I'd do in this situation, and then I just punch him in the fucking face.
I mean, a shark out of water, easy, no bother.
oh,
That's
or just randomly
yeah,
on the
I mean,
bypass.
to be honest,
on its turf. I think it's got the upper hand,
Yeah.
but on my turf, it's
the
going down.
rules were if you were in a room with an animal.
Yeah.
So shark.
Show shark.
Go for
Sharks,
it.
Whale.
easy.
You know, just let it dry out.
Yeah. That is the biggest animal I could kill. Is a whale.
I love that our Hogmanay show we're closing off with which animal could you
I
kill?
know. You guys had it all so nice, and I'm like, which biggest animal could you kill with your own bare hands?
Ewan, what do you think, producer
I
Ewan?
think horse is quite a good shout.
Yeah.
I don't agree
I don't
with
think
horse.
you could kill
I
a
don't.
horse.
And as someone that famously
Also-
doesn't like horses, I would love to kill a horse, but I don't think I don't.
What do you mean you famously don't like
Oh, I
horses?
came on this podcast talking about how much I hate
Oh,
horses.
yeah.
So
Sure.
She's,
Yeah.
she's the notorious horse hater. In
I know.
fact, it's
This
why,
is not doing
it's
anything
why
for my
I then
PR.
invited her to host with me because I was like, I've got to get the horse hater.
got to get these horses
I hear
down.
more about these horses.
I thought that you would like it. I would sweep it. It's like
Oh.
you and I are going to take it out together now.
Oh, maybe you
I
could
just
double
Send us,
team
to
it.
send us to the Grand National. We'll take out more horses than the gates.
Yeah, just send you in the
anyone
wee
get
white
hurt?
tent.
You and Yoan show up like.
I mean, I do love a horse. In fact, there was I saw a horse in trap today. A horse in trap, yeah, and I was like, what? They were actually outside the school waiting to pick up a child, and I was walking past the school, and I went, "What a cool pickup you're doing!" And he went, "Yeah, I think she's going to be surprised."
Aw.
Oh,
Oh, that's quite cute.
I'm assuming it was their child's last day of school, so.
Oh,
It's quite
lovely.
nice.
Very
But yeah.
nice, isn't it? Yeah, so
oh,
I
good.
actually patted a horse today. That's how you get them.
That's how you got the feel for
Get
it.
trust.
Yeah.
You got to build the trust
I
up.
could wipe you out,
and
no
then
bother.
just sweep their legs. Little sugar cube.
You need to
come
keep your
down
hand
from
flat in
behind.
case they bite you.
You're going to strangle a fox. I'm going to kill a badger, and you're going to jiu-jitsu a horse.
Well, fox seems like a weak answer now. I don't know where we're. I don't know where we're sweeping
Maybe
horses.
a pack of foxes.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll give it you.
Kathleen, thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so much.
for
Yeah,
coming
thank
and
you for
sharing your
having me.
joy with us.
You've made us feel so joyful. I feel so ready for Hogmanay this
I'm actually
year.
really looking forward to Hogmanay.
Lovely.
Tomorrow. I'm
Tomorrow,
really
looking forward to it.
I'm going to be getting a wee bit of coal, a wee bit of whiskey.
Yeah.
I'm going to be first footing.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I'm going to love it. I'm going to love it.
Lovely.
Can you tell our lovely listeners where can they find you? What have you got going on for 2025? What's happening?
Yeah, so you can find me at Kathleen Who on Instagram, Twitter, X, Blue Sky. It's the same on everything, basically. In March, I am taking my Fringe show Cryptid to the Glasgow Comedy Festival, and that's going to be at the Stand Glasgow. And I'm also taking that to the Brighton Fringe in May 9th and 10th, I think, at Presuming Eds. Never been to Brighton, don't know anyone there. So tell your pals. Yeah, I think that's me.
Lovely. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having
Have
me.
you got anything?
Well, I also have a Glasgow Comedy Festival show, which I have registered for and have not posted anything about. So, come to my Glasgow Comedy Festival show. It's a work in progress. That's in March. And then, probably just follow us on Instagram. Lots of gigs, lots of fun Joy Agenda pod stuff coming out. What have you got anything coming
I
up?
am also doing the Glasgow Comedy Festival with a work in progress show called Oofed. And that is on at the Stand Comedy Club on the Saturday the 22nd, I want to say. I think that's correct. Saturday the 22nd. And I do also need to post about it. I keep seeing all these comics going, a little Christmas stocking. And I'm like, I should do that. And then every day I don't.
Yep.
No, I know. But my brain's off.
I know.
Till the end of the year.
Off till next year.
Off to
Yeah.
next year. Well, happy Hogmanay.
Happy Hogmanay.
Yay!
Yay! Happy New Year. Happy 2025. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Lovely.
Love it.
Thank you so much.
Yay.